Me first. Does it sound selfish when you hear someone say, me first? I used to think that it was. And last week I had a few conversations around the topic where people were putting others first instead of themselves. I can also speak from experience, often putting others first. As I've grown older and hopefully a tiny bit wiser, I realise it's not selfish, it's essential. I'm still learning to put myself first, as it's not always easy. How do we know if we're putting others first without meeting our own needs? It may be done so out of habit that you don't even see it. Perhaps you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, feeling like there's too much going on. Then stop for a moment and ask yourself, do I say yes to everything straight away? Do I find it difficult to ask for help? Am I starting to get resentful? Do I feel like other people's needs are more important than my own? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then it's time to take a step back and breathe. The first part is always becoming aware, because if you aren't aware of what you're doing, then you can't do anything about it. And what happens if you continue down this path? Well, it's not really sustainable in the long run. You may start feeling it physically in your body through aches and pains as you're not listening to what you want and need. You're using up all your resources and energy and not replenishing it. You may start to feel more tired, groggy, irritable, and resentful. Life can start to feel lifeless because you end up doing everything for everyone else and not enough for yourself. When we're running from an empty cup, it's not sustainable. We're burning up our resources in an unhealthy way to the point where soon there will be nothing left to give. And then no one wins. And so how does this happen? There are so many reasons how this can happen. It may be a learned behaviour because you've seen it done as a child and therefore you learned that this is the best thing to do. For example, you see your mother doing everything for your father, putting his needs before her own without meeting her own needs. We often copy the behaviour of our parents as they must have got things figured out correctly, right? It may be a taught behaviour where you're told to put your siblings, your grandparents or your friends first. Parents often want to teach us respect, so tell us to wait our turn, allowing others first, so we end up thinking that this is what we always have to do. People pleasers often find it hard to put themselves first, as their first reaction is to say yes to others without asking themselves if that is what they want. This can be out of habit. And how we interpret events influences us, and know that our subconscious mind is always trying to protect us. This behaviour can be reinforced if you experience negative consequences when you put yourself first and positive consequences when you put others first. It can also be part of your role. Parents have to look after their newborn children, otherwise they won't survive. At some point, the children may be able to find some food for themselves from the fridge. They may be able to dress themselves. So it's up to the parents to let the children do more so the children can grow, freeing up time for the parents. What can you do about it? Well, once you realise that you're putting others first without meeting your own needs, then take a step back and make a list of all the things that you feel you are doing for others. Then go through the list and ask yourself if you're genuinely happy to do the task or would prefer not. You may find yourself being okay with doing some of the tasks for others. See if you can identify any patterns. Do you say yes to people straight away? Do you find it hard to say no to family, work, or your kids? When you start to see a pattern, then you're able to catch yourself more quickly before it happens next time. I used to say yes to a lot of requests, but now I say, I'll come back to you, which gives me some time to think whether it's something I want to do. Learning to say no to things you don't want to do is a whole new topic, and it takes some practice if you're not used to it. I find that politeness goes a long way in life, so a simple thank you for thinking of me, but I will pass this time. Some people like to add a why to the sentence, like I've got a lot going on, or I'm busy with setting up my new business. But you don't have to explain anything. You only include it if you want. Now go back to the reasons why you have found yourself in this pattern and work together with your subconscious mind. You can journal on the topic using techniques that work with the subconscious mind, for example, EFT, resonance repatterning, or rapid transformational therapy with me or someone else. It's easier to change thoughts and beliefs at the subconscious level as you're going to the root and the cause of your behavior now. I'm a big believer in the multiple action plan if you work at it on all levels to support yourself. Now ask yourself what you want to do that's purely for you and recharges you. If you can't identify anything, then think about what you would like to do. Look at your calendar and carve out some time just for yourself, where you get to do something just for you. It can be something small, like 5 minutes sitting on the sofa, but telling yourself this is for you. Taking a walk in nature, read a trashy novel, go to a cat cafe, listen to your favourite music blasted out loud, potter about the garden, admiring your flowers, visit an art gallery just because you fancy it, whatever floats your boat. Now, if you are someone that loves giving, you'll be able to give more when you look after yourself first. You'll be giving to areas you truly want to give and not just to anything that comes your way. It's your life lived with purpose. If you'd like to find out more about living with purpose, find out about our next Life Purpose workshop and see it in the link.